What's going on, y'all? This is Rich from Gaming on a Budget, the channel that reviews free or cheap games and games on Game Pass with the hopes of recommending you some dope shit. So really quick, guys, I know I've been pretty much a pain about this, but hey, I'm really close to 500 subs. The goal is to get to 500 before the end of July, so I'm gonna need y'all to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel. Please, if this is your first time here and you like the content, give me a follow, check me out. I promise to try and deliver original content to the best of my ability, and just need y'all's help. The goal is to get to 500 by the end of July and 1,000 by the end of the year. I'd really appreciate it, guys. I really want to get this channel up and running, and I need y'all's help, so appreciate it. So enough with the PSA. So today we're going to be reviewing the game that just landed on Game Pass not too long ago called Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder'S Revenge. So I heard about this game a long time ago, maybe not too long ago, maybe a couple months back, but I was recently reminded by one of my cousins, shout out to Mike, who asked me to check out the game, and I said, why not? Growing up, I always loved the Ninja Turtles. I mean, just, you know, their antics. I was a big fan of the cartoon show, as well as the older movies with like the animatronic suits and stuff like that. The newer movies, let's just ignore those for the most part. But I was a big fan of Ninja Turtles growing up, and still consider myself a fan of the franchise. So without further ado, let's go ahead and talk about some of the facts. So the genre of the game is a beat 'em up, developed by Tribute Games, published by Dotemu. They've done games like Metal Slug, Final Fantasy, and the newer Streets of Rage that released not too long ago. Released just last month, June 2022. Platforms you can currently play this on include Microsoft Windows, Xbox One, Linux, Nintendo Switch, and the PS4. And the most important question on this channel, is it cross-platform compatible? Well, kind of. So unfortunately, you can only play between Xbox and PC for crossplay, but it's a start. Maybe they'll open it up in the future, but as of right now, if you're Xbox and PC, y'all can play together. Alright, so let's go ahead and talk about the story slash gameplay. I mean, we're all familiar with the Ninja Turtles. This is an older game as far as like the arcade style, but I just ripped this from Wikipedia, so bear with me. So Shredder'S Revenge is a side-scrolling action brawler with the pixelated art style. In the game, the player assumes control of Leonardo, Donatello, Michelangelo, Raphael, April O'Neil, Master Splinter, and the unlockable character Casey Jones, as they combat opponents including the Foot Clan, Krang, Bebop, and Rocksteady, and Shredder, in locations ranging all throughout New York City. And yada yada yada. We pretty much know how the Ninja Turtles go. I mean, if you're a fan of the franchise, then you're pretty aware. But again, this is one of those arcade games with, you know, that old school, just, you know, button mashing type of gameplay. So I got to play this game with my cousin as well as some other people, and I got some points to talk about. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. So you guys know me, I love to start off with the visuals. So visually, this game is, you know, you get what you see, or you get what you expect, if that makes sense. It's an arcade game, so you have the older pixelated style, as they did emphasize. I'm not gonna lie, this was very nostalgic. I mean, I remember playing games like this in arcades and stuff like that when those were still a thing, and even like on older gen consoles. So the arcade feel and look definitely was cool, but they did add like some swiftness to the game. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but you still have that arcade style, but like the animations as far as like how the characters move and stuff, it's actually refreshing. You can even see this in their combat as well. Graphics are a bit older, like I mentioned, but the new animations are pretty dope. The game is really colorful, and honestly, it was just nostalgia, really. That's the best way I can describe the visuals. Very colorful game. As far as the environments and stages, like I said, it's a 2D scroller, so you know, you get what you would expect from a game like this. But visually, for what it was going for as far as an arcade game, I would say it hit the nail on the head. I mean, for it going off of trying to be an older game, basically. But that's essentially it in the visuals department. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about the mechanics. So I kind of want to do something with mechanics where I kind of rate like what kind of gamer you would have to be to like enjoy this. And I would say right off the bat, this is easily an easy game slash someone for casual gamers. So if you're not someone that games a lot, this is something that I would recommend for you. The mechanics are very simple. That's the best way to put it. Again, it's a 2D scroller, so you start off on one side of the screen and like you're fighting enemies throughout the screen. There's no real 3D. It's literally just left and right, up and down. Very simple as far as the mechanics. Movements very simple. Again, you just kind of walk to the left, walk to the right. You can dash, you can jump, you can double jump, you can do jump kicks. You can even do backflips to like kind of go backwards. And basically how it is like this, you know, when you play games like this, it's a beat 'em up, right? So you're beating up on the minions, and you know, you beat them up throughout the stage. You collect items such as pizza for health. I think there's special items as well. There's also like explosives, like you can hit like red gas tanks or something like that and have things go off. As far as the character selection, so obviously you have your choice of the turtles. You're also able to play as April O'Neil, which is pretty interesting, and Master Splinter. And like the description described, you can unlock Casey Jones. So attacks range depending on what character you use. Obviously, the turtles have different weapons, so they have different fighting styles. You know, Donatello, he's the purple one, right? Yeah, Donatello has the stick, and Leonardo has the two swords. You guys know the turtles, so no need to get into that. But as far as attacking goes, literally, when they say beat 'em up, it's literally a beat 'em up game. This is a button masher for sure. You literally press one button to attack. You can this varies a little bit. Like you can do a jump kick, which is different. You can also do like a kind of like a backwards dash attack move. But it's literally, if you press one button, you're gonna be fine in this game. You're gonna be really fine. You also everyone gets a special, which seems to be, you can use it at will. It doesn't seem like you really need to gauge anything. You kind of just, for me, it was just pressing LB to unlock my special. And oh no, this is what it was. So you can actually press, I think it's LB, to gather up your special meter anytime you want, and then you can unleash your special. All the characters have different specials, of course, and they're pretty much attacks that do major damage or wide damage. So people that are like, you know, you have long range as far as your attack. That's what I'm trying to say. But that's essentially it. So again, you're fighting all the minions and stuff, and then at the end, you know, like 2D scrollers tend to do, you fight like the boss of that stage, right? So the boss, at least the first few bosses, they're not necessarily hard. You just kind of, you know, it's a 2D scroller arcade game, right? So enemies, they're not as challenging as you might think. What I'm trying to say is you'll be fine. One really dope thing about this game is the fact that you can play up to 6 players, online or local. So when we ran it, literally it was like the 6 of us, right? So it was really cool just to have everybody on the same screen. Usually, or you know, in the past, the most you might have is like 4 people, just because of the console, you know, specifications and stuff like that, or if you're at an arcade, you know, whatever. But the fact that we could run 6 people on the same screen, and mind you, this was pretty seamless. Like there was like no lag, everything was pretty, you know, which is expected. I mean, it was very interesting to see this implemented in an older styled game. So I was really like taken aback by this. But yeah, you can run up to 6 players on the same screen at the same time, just fucking up the Foot Clan and the Krang and all that stuff. So that part I really like, just kind of like the social aspect of being able to get everybody on one screen during one mission. Okay, so that's basically it for the mechanics. I feel like I got everything on the head, but that's pretty much it. So let's go ahead and talk about, like, I don't know what to call this category. I call it random miscellaneous shit or whatever. I would say, to kind of go into the nostalgia factor, the music for this game is pretty awesome. I mean, I'm just gonna be real. It's definitely the kind of music gets you pumped up to fight some people. Again, goes with the arcade style, so it really went well. I would say the graphics, I mean, for what this is, obviously, you know, playing new gen consoles and new gen games, you know, we are conditioned to a certain type of graphic and aesthetic, but the aesthetic works for this kind of game. I think I kind of really appreciated it, and I would just say the nostalgia in general was really a fun thing about this game. You know, thinking about, you know, playing games like this in the past and stuff like that. Those were my biggest takeaways as far as like random miscellaneous stuff. But that's essentially it. That's the game in the rundown. So, okay, you guys know what time it is. Let's get and talk about the highlights. I'd have to say, my biggest highlight for this game is literally the fact that I can run co-op with up to 6 people. I think too many games now are being released and they're like online first-person shooters. They all kind of fall into the same genre, and like the couch co-op has really been like a dying breed. So the fact that you can play this game couch co-op and, like, you know, up to 6 people is pretty dope. That's something I really respect. Anytime I can run across a good couch co-op, I definitely I'm all ears for it. So the last time I played something like that would be Bleed 2, which is actually a game that I reviewed last year. Check it out here, links up there on the top or whatever. I love that game. Bleed 2 is a really dope game. As far as like arcade style, look, aesthetic, music being lit as fuck, and just the gameplay being super cool, I gotta, yeah, Bleed 2 is really dope. One thing I am disappointed about this game is that, at least for as long as I was playing it, there was no it's very repetitive. It's very repetitive. If I can say like a con, it's very repetitive. It's literally like, okay, new stage, beat up the Foot Clan, or beat up the Krang, or beat up the minions, whatever it is, and then get to the level, get to the end, and beat up the boss. It's very repetitive. I would have loved it would have introduced like mechanics on new stages. Like with Bleed 2, you got like new powers and stuff like this. With this game, I didn't see much variation. It literally is just the same thing. And to be honest, I couldn't play this for that long. This is definitely a game that you kind of just run for the nostalgia. But if you were to ask me to run this game for like 2-3 hours straight, I probably couldn't do it. And I'd probably tell you to go fuck yourself. Just to say that, I'd be like, I had an okay time with this game, but it's not, yeah, it wasn't my minus nostalgia, the game wasn't all that great to me. And that's unfortunate because I love the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. But again, maybe it's just because of the old arcade style, but yeah, just wasn't that super great to me. Like, definitely it was cool to be in it, kind of experience it, but is it something I would just keep in rotation? Probably not. But hey, that's my opinion. So if I had to give TMNT Shredder's Revenge a rating, I probably would comfortably give it a 6.5. I feel like that's really low, but it's just, that's how I feel. Like, honestly, like, cool for, it's one of those games where like it's cool for a bit. For me at least, it was cool for like, you know, oh, this is cool for like 20-30 minutes, but then I'm just like, nah, I'm cool on this. So again, if you're a casual gamer or someone who like doesn't game as much, or just wants to just literally have a very simplistic gameplay, then I'd recommend Shredder's Revenge. And if you're just a Ninja Turtles fan, then you have to check this out regardless, right? So as a Ninja Turtles fan, and you know, understanding what that's done to the culture, I have to be completely honest with the game. Is this a game I would run regularly? Probably not. But hey, if you're into games like this and old school arcade games, then I would ask you to check this out. But anyway, guys, that's my 2 cents on this game. Very quick review. Just wanted to give you guys a little, hot take on what I think about this game, and get your opinion on it. So anyways, what do you guys think? Are you guys playing Shredder's Revenge? I really want to hear about it. Let me know everything. Did I miss anything as far as like mechanics? Did I hit the nail on the head? Did I miss something? Let me know. I want to hear that in the comments. If you like this video, go ahead and drop a like. And if you're new here, please feel free to subscribe. Videos on a weekly basis, including game reviews, Gamepass reviews. I'm probably going to start doing live streams again, and other stuff. Very interesting things happening on the channel. Trying to step it up a little bit, but anyway, we'll get into that in the future. But guys, thank you so much for checking this out. Again, if you're new here, please feel free to subscribe. Also, tell me what game to play next. I really love when people recommend games because I love checking them out. And I've got some really dope recommendations from you guys. So please don't be afraid. Comment the game that you want me to check out. I will check it out, and I promise if I remember who you are, I'll shout you out in the video too. So, all right, y'all. But anyways, guys, thank you guys so much for watching this video. This is Rich from Gaming on the Budget. And as always, I'll see you on the next one. All right, peace. What?